Yes, my people. So I'm back live with another one. I just want to say good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world today. All praises to the triune God, the God of wisdom, the God above all gods, the God that give us wisdom to look at things. So uh, I'm going to be reacting to this woman called Liz Edwards. She's a YouTuber who a lot of things that she do, she realized, a lot of Westerners who are not Muslim have no idea uh, uh, um, of being a Muslim, no intention really of being a Muslim. They realize that if they want their channel to grow, let a Western person say something positive that appear positive about Islam, then their channel gonna take off because Muslims are looking for reassurance in their religion, and they need the reassurance of the West. They need the reassurance of the Jews. They need the reassurance of certain things to make them believe that their religion is true. If their religion is growing, that means their religion is true. Homosexuality is growing. All these things are growing. You know, callousness is growing. Carelessness is growing. But if you believe, but if Islam is growing, that means Islam is true. And I will show you how much these Muslims need the reassurance of the West. They also need the reassurance of the Jews. You often have debate with people, and you will see how they will be saying, Jewish rabbi says this. There's a guy called Abu Zuleika, a Facebook on Facebook, often come to you. Oh, this person say this, that person say Muhammad is this person, because they need the reassurance of the Jews. They need the reassurance of people from the West. If somebody from the West say Muhammad is this, then it must be true. If somebody say, I have a video that I made the other day that says if the Jews are saying it, then it must be true, even when it goes against Islam. You will find Muslim posting stuff about Christianity that also condemn Islam, but they will post it about Christianity. So what we're going to look at today is let's look at a comment, this guy commenting on this video for a little bit, because I just want to show you what Zakir Naik says, respect to the person, and then I will show you the other side of Islam. So this won't be a long video, but let's show you something that a dialogue between me and this guy, after I respond to the video. You will see how these Muslims need reassurance of Jewish people, and they need to see things happening to make them believe in their religion. So you will see how much this guy, there's this guy was, responding to me, something I say, if I can find that. But I will show you how much, the conversation was nothing about where he took it. And you will see, oh, let me see. Okay, I think it might be here. So the conversation is nothing about where this guy take it, but you will see how much they need the assurance, of the Jews. They need the assurance of Christian priests, so-called Christian priests, and so-called things like that. So if you look right here, you will see where this guy is saying, this guy called Umar Gorel, something like that. And he says Egyptian Coptic priests admitted 1.8 million Coptic Christians revert to Islam. Amazing. And he put amazing in comma, Arabic, English. So he said this is amazing, because they're looking for the reassurance of Christian, so-called Christian, converting to their religion, to make them believe that their religion is true. The more Christian are so-called Christian, because you have to say so-called, because the Bible told you no Christian would leave Christianity. Where we find that, the Apostle John says, they left us because they never belonged to us. If you know Jesus, you will never follow Muhammad. If you know Jesus, you can never follow Muhammad. Muhammad is too dirty and nasty for you to leave Jesus to follow Muhammad. So he says Coptic Christian revert. And notice they always use the term revert. And I will show you that this term is a fake term. Muhammad was a madman who say one thing and then say another thing elsewhere. I keep showing that, and then he come and he says, Jewish rabbi, Islam religion of the future. So a Jewish rabbi say Islam is the religion of the future. So, but what he don't realize that Muhammad, with one of his mouth say Islam is not the religion of the future. Muhammad actually say Islam will crawl back to where it was before, crawl back between the mosque. Muhammad actually say that Islam will go back between the mosque where it was before. It will crawl back like a snake between the mosque. So let's see if I could find that where Muhammad say Islam, in one mouth he says Islam will be the ruling religion. In another mouth he said he will climb, Islam will crawl back to become. I may not be able to find it, but anybody who know the Hadith will know that Muhammad says Islam will crawl back between the mosque. So one mouth he's saying that Islam is will be the dominating religion, and another mouth he's saying that Islam will crawl back between the mosque. So as I was saying, you will so you see what you see with the Abduls. They are looking for reassurance from people. He says church lady revert to Islam. Amazing. And it's always amazing for them, a church lady. There are many church ladies. Is the person a Christian? So I gave him a video to watch to show that there is no such thing as revert. But he didn't care about that video that I gave to him. He just ran off to finding assurance for his religion. But anyway, so let's get into this video, because the reason I'm saying this is to show that Muslims are looking for reassurance from people from the West, and when they see videos of gullible people, or people even using them, because I do believe that this woman, Liz, is actually using Islam to get subscribers and and Facebook. I do believe that. But so let's get into the video and we'll see what. But before we get into the video, let's show what the title of the video is. So I hope that you guys can see here what the title of the video is. So the title of the video says Zakir Naik responds to Revert, whose mom told him to stop doing Salaah and shave beard reaction. So she's reacting to that. But one thing I want to establish before I go any further is can someone be a revert? According to Muhammad, with one of the mouth, Muhammad have two mouths. People must bear this in mind, that when you're dealing with Muhammad, he have two mouths. One mouth will say something, and then the other mouth will contradict what Muhammad say with one mouth. Because when you're dealing with a deceiver often forget what they say. And we see where Muhammad used to forget the Quran, Muhammad, according to Aisha says Muhammad heard a man reciting the Quran in the mosque, and Muhammad said, Allah bless this man because he reminded him of such and such surah which he forget. So Muhammad, such and such verse of such and such surah which he forget. So Muhammad used to forget what he tell people, and then he would go back and tell you something else. So let's look at why we know that you cannot be a revert. It's just one of Muhammad's delusion that you can be you were born a Muslim. So one time he tell you all children were born a Muslim, is their parents that make them Christian or Jew. But look what he's gonna say. Look what Muhammad say elsewhere. So you can't be a revert. You cannot. I'm gonna show you why. From the Muhammad's own mouth, you cannot be a revert. So if you look here, okay, so we are in Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. We are in Sahih Muslim, and it's Hadith 40, volume 40, Hadith 6808. So Aisha, the mother of the believer, said that Allah's messenger, may peace be upon him, was called to lead the funeral prayer of a child of Ansar. I said, Allah's messenger, there is happiness for this child who is a bird of the birds of paradise, for it committed no sin, nor has he reached the age where one can commit sin. He said, which is Muhammad said, Aisha, peradventure it may be otherwise. Remember, Aisha is saying that the child is so young that the child is not at the age where it can commit any sin. But remember, Muhammad say that you're born a Muslim, is your parents that make you a Jew or a Christian. So if you're born a Muslim and the child is not at any age where he can commit any sin, when Aisha says the child is a bird of the bird of paradise, it had committed any sin, Muhammad should have agreed. But Muhammad said, Aisha, peradventure it may be otherwise, because God created for paradise those who are fit for it while they were yet in their father's loins, and create for hell those who are to go to hell. He created them for hell while they were yet in their father's loins. Sahih Muslim, 33, Hadith 6436. So you see that Muhammad was a confused man. 1 minute he will tell you that you are born a Muslim, and the next minute he will tell you, no, a child who is sinless, is a baby that they haven't sinned any yet, may not go to heaven because you were created for hell while you were in your father's loins. So how are people born Muslims? Muhammad was a madman. I've been telling people that if you listen to Muhammad is one of those people who are bipolar schizophrenic. 1 minute he says something is normal in a sense. When he's not in a manic mood, he's normal. And he's saying things that appear normal. But when he gets into his manic mood, it's a different thing he is saying. Totally different thing. You will see where Muhammad seems peaceful at some times, and then at another time, he would do the most evil things to people. You will see where Muhammad appear as if he loved the Muslim, and at another time, he would beat them and curse them. So this is the kind of person that you are dealing with. A person who is a manic schizophrenic, who suffer from bipolar and schizophrenia. And people say, oh, he's schizophrenic, how could he have so many people around him? And a schizophrenia is not always schizophrenic, but you will see where even to Aisha says Muhammad used to believe that he did things that he didn't do. He used to imagine he did things that he didn't do. That's the mind of schizophrenia, to believe that, oh, yes, I did this and I didn't do that. Muhammad said he ride up on something like a donkey, a mystical donkey, and he went to heaven. He saw Moses praying in his grave. And his wife says, hey, he used to imagine he did things that he didn't do. And they, to make it look like Muhammad is normal, they say a Jew worked voodoo on him. No. Why was he trying to kill himself after receiving revelation? Did a Jew work voodoo on him at that time? No. Why does he speak so much stupidness that Satan sleep in your nose, urinate in your ears, and all that stuff? Did a Jew cause him to speak that stuff? No. Muhammad was totally crazy. Muhammad used to go into these trance to a point where at one time he sounded like a camel when he was getting his revelation. Muhammad was mentally affected by something. He even told his wife that he hear noise, he hear sounds, he think he's going crazy, according to Ibn Sa'd. So let's look at, so we see that you cannot trust Muhammad saying that, oh, the word revert, so I don't know why people keep on trusting Muhammad using this word revert, because it's obvious that Muhammad was a liar. But anyway, let's get into this video. I just wanted to show that, when Muslims use the term revert, it cannot be trusted, because Muhammad have two mouths. And you will see also, while I go through this video, that Muhammad, you will see that Muhammad have two mouths. I won't go into her introduction, because, you could see that she's just trying to entice Muslim. It's your girl, I'm back again, and this I haven't respond to Dr. Zakir Naik. So let's get into the real video.
Now let's get into it.
Assalamu alaikum. I am rewarded. My name is Abdullah Sheikh. Before it was a Shushan Kumar Mandal. I am from Panvel. But there is one question regarding Allahu Akbar, which I am always, I have read the Quran and I came to know that there is a Jannat, which I am trying to go Jannat directly. For that, I have to follow the Hadith and Quran. But when I have read the Hadith and Quran, I came to know that I have to follow total Sunnat which Sunnat has tried to put me down because of my mother. And my mother asked me to remove my beard, my cap, and all Sunnat.
We have an emergency. Your brothers and sisters
Oh,
are purchasing a 40,000 square foot
They
church
always begging
complex
money.
in Tampa.
She want me to be like an Indian guy. She says me, you have to pray Allah in your heart, not by Salaah. And this always Hindu always try to put me like this. You do what? What we say? Shall I have to do like this, or I have to leave the house, or I have to stay other?
MashaAllah, brother.
So this guy is asking Zakir Naik, like, hey, he's a Muslim, and his mother, you know, you're growing up in certain society, your mother, you know, you start growing beard and stuff like that. In certain societies, they actually, they will put you down in certain society. I remember, you know, I had my locks, and you have people who will put you down for the way you look, you know. So, you know, he said his mother was telling him to cut his beard and to pray the Salaah in his heart instead of the show that the Muslim put on. You notice Jesus told us to pray in our closet, you know. I mean, we could say your prayer in and you'll be rewarded openly, you'll be rewarded. You know, Muslim put on a show, they ring this big bell, boom, and make this noise to let people know that they are praying. So the mother is is talking against that kind of thing, which, you know, I'm not supporting the mother. You know, if your son chooses a path, unless you see it as a dangerous path, then you could talk out against it. But the mother is talking out, say, don't pray like that and cut your beard. You know, but as I say, in certain society, work, you can't get work, you can't get this if you look certain ways, because certain society follows certain norm. You know, especially third world societies, you find many societies, if you look certain way, you can't have certain jobs. But so the mother is telling him not to pray like that. So he's asking advice from Zakir Naik, and listen what Zakir Naik advice is.
That's a very good question. Allah gave him hidayah. He became a Muslim. He realized that following Quran and Sunnah will give him Jannah. When he read the Hadith, he followed the Sunnah. He wore a cap. He covered his hair. He sported a beard. But his mother says, remove the beard. Remove the cap. What should I do? The verses are quoted of Surah Luqman, chapter number 31, verse number 14, that we have enjoined on the human beings to be kind to the parents. In travail upon travail did the mother bore them, but in pain did she give birth. Immediately next verse says, Surah Luqman, chapter 31, verse number 15, but if your parents force you to worship somebody besides Allah, of which you have no knowledge, then do not obey them. Yet live with them with love and compassion.
Okay, do you notice what he says? If your parents force you to worship anyone other than Allah, then you don't follow them, but you live with them with love and compassion, something similar to that. So I'll just play back that part over so that you guys hear that.
The parents, in travail upon travail did the mother bore them, but in pain did she give birth. Immediately next verse says, Surah Luqman, chapter 31, verse number 15, but if your parents force you to worship somebody besides Allah, of which you have no knowledge, then do not obey them. Yet live with them with love and compassion.
So
the same message
you live with them with love and compassion. So you see that, you know, it's good to listen to a person like Zakir Naik, because you realize that, as I say, that Muhammad have two mouths. You have to remember that. When you're dealing with Muhammad, he have two mouths, because Muhammad believed at one time that he was possessed by Satan. You know, he ran out to his wife, and his wife took off her clothes, and the wife believed that if it is a devil, then the wife told him whenever the creature visit him, he must let her know. And he told her the creature was here. So the wife took off her clothes, and the wife asked him, do you see the creature? And he says, no, the creature is gone, then the wife draw to the conclusion that it got to be a good angel, because if it was a bad angel, then the angel would have stayed. When she take off her clothes, then the angel would have stayed. But what what do we see here? You know, a good, just follow the let's say we believe in the craziness of Khadijah, the wife. Say a good angel would run when she's naked. Could Satan also imitate that good angel and run when, you know, because he knows what she's doing? Yes. So at the end of the day, her trick was crazy, and she took him to Warika, and according to Ibn Kathir, Warika warned Muhammad that he may be someone other than Gabriel that visit him, and certain of these demons or devils will make a sane man become insane. And we'll see that some of the things that Muhammad did after the fact can be considered as insanity, like trying to kill himself, some of the things that he said, some of the things that he did, you know, so nothing make water impure, you know, like nothing make water impure. And we're going to show you that Zakir Naik, as a doctor, have the mind of a mad person, in a sense. We will show you that, you know, from another video. But here it is. Muhammad is saying about the Quran is saying, live in love. He didn't really read the Quran. He paraphrasing the Quran, you know. So, you know, if you go, I could just read what he was talking about from the Quran. He says, say, come, I will tell you what your Lord has made binding on you, that you shall serve no other gods beside him, that you shall show kindness to your parents. So according to Muhammad, this is binding on you, that you shall show kindness to your parents, that you shall not kill your children because you cannot support them. So you shouldn't kill your children because you cannot support them. That you shall not commit foul sin. But you will, what is considered foul sin according to Muhammad? Whether openly or secret. And that you shall not kill, for that is forbidden. That you shall not kill, for that is forbidden by God. But you will see where people kill, from even for Muhammad. There was a man who stabbed his woman, the mother of his children, in the stomach, because she was saying things about Muhammad, and killed the woman. And Muhammad said, no one should hurt that man. So is like, you know, say, and that you shall not kill, for that is forbidden by God, except for a just cause. Is it a just cause to stab your children's mother in the belly because they are saying something bad about Muhammad? So you see, at the end of the day, you have to be careful what Muhammad says. When Muhammad says something, you have to be very, very careful about what he says, because this man have a double mouth. And he says, but the part that I want to pay attention to, that you shall show kindness to your parents. That's one verse. Now here is another one. Your Lord has enjoined you to worship none but him, and to show kindness to your parents. So, but do you notice what Zakir Naik say? You love them, but there is nowhere that say you should love them. I'm gonna show you. If either or both of them attain old age in your dwelling, show them no sign of impatient. That you show them no sign of impatient. Now rebuke them, but speak to them kind words. So you speak to them kind word. Treat them with humility and tenderness, and say, Lord, be merciful to them. They nurse me when I was an infant. So that sounds so good. Look how good that sounds. It sounds so good. Like Muhammad is actually teaching something that makes sense. For real. But remember, I tell you that Muhammad have two mouths. You have to, one mouth is telling you to be kind and show humility to your parents, and listen what the other mouth is going to say. So let's go to the other mouth. So if you look at Surah 58, verse 22. So Surah 58, verse 22, what you will see. Thou wilt not find any people who believe in God and the last days, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they were their parents or their sons or their brothers or their kindred. So this God, this Quran is saying, you will not find any people who believe in this God and the last day, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they were their fathers, their sons, and their brothers and their kindred. And notice this. Notice this. For such he has written faith in their hearts. So it is a God who wrote this in their heart, this faithfulness in their heart, to show no love to their fathers and sons and their brothers and their kindred. So even to their fathers or their sons or their brothers and their kindred. Kindred, you look up the word kindred, what it means. Kindred include all your family. So any one of your family, and notice it says, and their fathers. But up here, it is telling you in 17, in Surah 17, it is telling you to show kindness to your parents. And then down here, it is telling you that you will not find anyone who believe in God loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they are their fathers. And it is telling you that for such Allah has written faith in their heart. So Allah give them that faith not to love their family member. Do you see? And strengthen them with a spirit from himself. So Allah strengthened these people with a spirit from himself to literally hate their fathers. But one verse it is telling you, you should love your parents. And if you look to what Zakir Naik says, then you will see where the danger comes in. You just listen to Zakir Naik and you will see what Zakir Naik says.
For them, but in pain did she give birth. Immediately next verse says, Surah Luqman chapter 31 verse number 15, but if your parents force you to worship somebody besides Allah, of which you have no knowledge, then do not obey them. Yet live with them with love and compassion. The same message repeated in Surah Ankabut, chapter number 29, verse number 8. We have enjoined on the human beings to be kind to the parents. But
so you should be kind to your parents. Do you hear? He said, give them compassion. Notice what Zakir Naik said, show them compassion. Compassion means love. But listen to what the Quran goes to say. That's why I said you cannot trust Muhammad. You cannot trust Muhammad at all. Muhammad said, you will not find any people who believe in God and the last day, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they were their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their kindred. And Muhammad go on to say, they say it's a God, but I believe it's Muhammad. Go on to say, for such he written faith in their heart. So Allah written this faith, this faithfulness in the heart of people, not to love even their father and their sons and their brother who resist the God and Muhammad. And Muhammad goes on to say, and he strengthened them with a spirit from himself. He said, God will be pleased with them, and they with him. So you see, God will be pleased with them for hating their fathers. So I'm telling you, when you approach Muhammad, you have to approach Muhammad. You can't approach Muhammad like a racehorse. In my country where I used to live, there is a place called Orange Valley, and there's a place called Orange Hill. And remember, there's a guy used to race horses in Orange Hill. Actually, he would used to race horses through the cane field. They would illegally race the horses through the cane field. And I remember as a kid, you go there and you watch. In one of the things that they put on the horses is a thing called blinders, where they put it right here and they put it out here. And because of the way the horse's eye is shaped, it cut off the peripheral view of the horse, so the horse can only see what's in front of it. And why they do that? They do that so that if another horse come close to that horse cannot see that horse until the horse pass by. It cannot see any distraction, no distraction. So it keep going without any distraction. You know, and when you're reading, you shouldn't read like that. You shouldn't, when you're studying Islam, you can't study Islam with a blinders on. You need to see what's going on the sides. Yes, what is said on the side. Because if you're just looking with a tunnel vision, you will not see what Muhammad really is. Muhammad have two mouths. With one mouth, he says something good. With the other mouth, he says something dangerous. And that's how the devil became an angel of light. Because one mouth, he'll be saying something, but he contradicts himself with the other mouth because he's a liar. He cannot keep to the truth. So at the end of the day, what he said seems so good and enticing, but his real intention will come out later. And you will see here where Muhammad is saying, love your parents. You know, he said, and show kindness to your parents. But down here, he's saying, you will not find anyone who believe in God loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they were their fathers or their sons. So you see that. So you love your parents, show kindness to your parents, but you know, how can you show kindness to your parents when you don't love your parent? You know, it doesn't make no sense. And that is what you find in Islam. And to be real with you, there's occasions where men, you know, wanting to kill their fathers because of Islam. There's some occasions, you know, where and I'll just read something that I found, you know, Sam Shamon do this research, you know, so I give him the credit for it. But I will show you that in India, this actually take place in India, where a man wanted to kill his own father because of Islam. You know, and he says his beloved country is in India. So let's look at this. There's a lot of narrators, and as I say, I'm not good at all these names, so I will just get to the point. So they encountered them at Al-Zoj, the Zoj of Lawa, and invited them to embrace Islam. They refused, so they attacked them and forced them to flee. So do you see how Islam is? They found some men, they say, oh, embrace Islam, and they want to attack these men and force them to flee. Because this is how Islam spread in India. Then Al-Assad met his father, Salaah, who was on his own horse in a pond of Al-Zuj. He invited his father to embrace Islam, promising him amnesty. He, the father, abused him and his creed. Consequently, Al-Assad armstrong the horse of his father. I mean, he grabbed up the horse of his father. When the horse fell on his hoofs, Solomon reclined on his spear in the water. Al-Assad hold him till one of the Muslims came there and killed him. So the man hold his father until the Muslim killed him. Until another Muslim killed him. His son did not kill him. Ibn Sa'd's Kitab al-Tabaqad al-Kabir. So you see, and this this, you know, do you see how this? So this was published in and why I mention it. So this was published in New Delhi, and that's India. You know, so volume 11, page 220, Kitab Baravan, exporter and importer. So you see that, you know, which mouth of Muhammad will you follow? Because a Muslim could choose to follow any one of the mouth of Muhammad. You could follow this mouth that says, and show kindness to your parents. But you could also follow this mouth. And you will not find a people who believe in God and the last day, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they are your fathers. So you see where that Muslim choose not to love his father. He owed his father down while another Muslim came and killed his father. So this is Islam in a nutshell. You get something from Islam and it's saying one thing. Look out, because a lot of time it's saying something else. So here is this Muslim. Nobody named Muhammad. This is a Muslim. Do you know that? This guy right here is a Muslim. He said nobody is named Muhammad in the Quran. Because he is actually translating the word and the meaning of the word instead of the word Muhammad. He's actually using what the word means and say it's not Muhammad in the Quran. He said Quran is talking about Jesus, not Arab guy. This guy called himself a Muslim. This is what they are running from Muhammad. All these guys are running. A lot of them they're ashamed of what Muhammad. So they find an alternative route to take. He says the Quran is talking about Jesus, not an Arab guy. And this is crazy. Now let me show you something. You know, so I'm going to show you how this lady react to this video, because I just want to show you, you know, I don't think this lady is naive. What I think about this lady, is that I think she is wise enough to know how to use the stupidity of these people to attract these people to her channel. January 11th, this video was posted. She already have almost 10,000 views already. So you see, she knows, and she have almost 80,000 subscribers. So she know how to get subscribers, and most of her subscribers are Muslim. Look at the comment on her stuff: Muslim, 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 a whole bunch of Muslim. But so let's listen to what she says, because she have no clue that there is another verse telling you don't have to love your parents. And listen what she's going to say.
Okay, guys, that is really.
Your brothers and sisters with disabilities are literally being carried up these stairs.
I wanted
so
to
that they
know.
Actually a pretty common topic, and I think it's important, especially for, I guess, reverts and
Do you
just
see
people.
she using reverts? She's so conned that she actually using the word revert. She don't realize that you can never be a revert. It's a trick. It's a con. You can never be a revert, because one mouth of Muhammad is saying that a baby who literally have no sin can go to hell because Allah designed that you go to hell from you were in your father's loins. That means from you were a sperm in the body of your father, you were destined to hell or heaven. How were you a Muslim? So if a baby, what Muhammad is saying there, if a baby is destined for hell, and that baby born today and die tomorrow, that baby still going to hell, because that's what he says. When his wife asks him, here it is. We are not lying about anything. Aisha, the mother of the believer, said that Allah's apostle, may peace be upon him, was called to lead the funeral prayer of a child of Ansar. Aisha said, Allah messenger, there is happiness for this child who is a bird from the birds of paradise, for it committed no sin, nor has he reached the age where one can commit sin. Muhammad said, he is Muhammad. Muhammad said, Aisha, peradventure, it may be otherwise, because God created for paradise those who are fit for it while they were yet in their father's loin. So it may be otherwise. This child maybe can go to hell even though he created no sin. So, or are you born a Muslim? Or are you born a Muslim? Muhammad was a liar and forgets what he said. And as I say, Muhammad used to forget the Quran. He used to forget the Quran. Can you imagine you giving revelation and forget what it was revealed to you? This is how careless. And so why is it that you have abrogations and all the stuff in the Quran? Because Muhammad was a forgetful person. He would forget what was revealed to him. You know, he would forget what was revealed to him. What he claimed was revealed to him, because nothing was really revealed to Muhammad. Muhammad was a crazy man. But as I say, do you notice what she says? She's using their term revert as if she understands Islam, and she don't. She's just reacting to videos.
You know, coming into the truth in general.
And then say coming into the truth in general. This is naive. Coming into the truth in the general. I show you that this could never be truth. It could never be truth. because Muhammad have two mouths. Two mouths. One mouth is saying something and another mouth is saying something different. Muhammad have two mouths. Do you see? Muhammad said to love you, not love. He never used the term love because according to, you can never show me anywhere where Allah loves sinners. No, he don't love sinners. Nowhere in the Quran say Allah love the sinners. Muhammad said, treat your parents kindly. So Muhammad is saying, treat your parents kindly. So we go there. If you look at Surah 17, verse 23, he said, and show kindness to your parents. And the same thing you will find in Surah 6, verse 151, that you should show kindness to your parents. But if you go down, that's you got to look at Muhammad. I told you guys to look at Muhammad this way. But as you go further, you realize in 58:22, Muhammad is telling you that you will not find any people who believe in Allah and the last days, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they are their fathers and their sons. But he's telling you to love, you to show kindness to your parents. But he said you will find none loving their fathers if their father resists God and his apostle. And what did Muhammad say? For such Allah has written faith in their hearts. So Allah is the one who put this in their heart to not love their parents who resist Muhammad and the God. So you see, this lady is really don't know what she commenting on. And that's why I say you cannot react to something if you don't do your researches. How are you going to react to something from a shallow brain? That means you're getting into things on a shallow. You're not getting into things on logical. You're just using your shallow ideas to react to things. Wow. That's emotional reaction, not logical reaction.
There's always, I won't say always, but there are sometimes contentions in the household with other family members that are trying to get you to do something different than what Islam is teaching you. And in this case, it's a little sticky because his mom, according to what he said, his mom actually did also accept Islam, but she is telling him, I guess, not to follow the hadith.
So the mom accept Islam, but if you notice in India, there's a class system, and there is certain things that you know, if you want to live in society and be prosperous, there's a certain way you got to carry yourself. In a lot of societies, you find that, you know, if you go. I remember one time this Nigerian guy asked me, why you have your hair like this? He actually says, I can't remember exactly how he put it. He actually was downing me. And I asked him a question. I said, have you ever heard of the mamas? he said no. But that's an African guy. You think that, I'm from the West, but I know about the mamas and who they were. They were freedom fighters, and they have their ear just like mine, and worse than mine, nappy and stuff. But you don't judge no book by the cover. But here was the guy judging me by what he see my appearance is. And I said that society does that. So maybe that parent is looking at it and say, hey, you need to behave yourself in certain ways, because what it affects you in your society. The way your beard is, all that stuff will affect how you survive. But Zakir Naik make a stupid claim. That means Zakir Naik is saying that if you don't have a beard, in a sense, if you don't follow the Sunnah, you can't. You're not right. So if a Muslim doesn't have a beard, he's not a Muslim. You know, about the prayer, you know, they said Jesus was a Muslim, but Jesus was telling people that he said, when you pray, you go to the closet and pray. Don't pray in the open and like the hypocrites do. You know, so maybe he was one of those people, you know, calling all these drama. His mama tell him, like, don't, hey, all this drama, because you will see Muslim, you know, come to a certain place. Next thing you know, in the middle of where you standing, they bend down ready to pray in the middle of where you standing. They put out stuff ready to pray in the middle of where you're standing. Like you can't pray in your heart, like the God that you worship, you cannot pray in your heart without making a scene of your pride. So maybe that's what the mother was saying. But you could see that this lady have no idea, you know, what she really commenting on. You know, she don't realize that there's two mouths to Muhammad.
She's trying to tell him to like shave his beard, take his cap off, and do all these different things. That's really, you know, not according to Islam. So Dr. Zakir Naik is telling him, and I like that.
So if you take your cap off and you shave your beard, that's not Islam. So any Muslim that doesn't have a beard and don't have the cap on is not a Muslim. Wow. Wow. So you have to have a cap on and a beard in order to be a Muslim. Doesn't make sense. Does it make any sense? And Dr. Zakir Naik is telling him
that he brings the points up. He always has references.
And listen to her, so naive. He always have references. But what if Zakir Naik was truthful? He would have pointed him to both to both references. The one that says if you resist Muhammad and Allah, you should hate your parents that resist Muhammad and Allah. You know, so Zakir Naik always have references, because Zakir Naik is selling Islam to the people who don't know Islam. If you read the Quran for yourself, you could make a choice whether to love your parents, not love your parents, whether to show kindness to your parents or not show kindness, because one verse is showing you that you don't have to show kindness, because it's saying those who believe in Allah is not loving to those who resist Muhammad and Allah, even their fathers and their kinsmen, their brothers and all that. So if you look at the verse, what the verse says, you will not find any people who believe in God and the last day loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they were their fathers and their sons and their brothers and their kindred. Do you see that? So at the end of the day, somebody could take this and forget about this. So it's like when you're dealing with Muhammad, it's like what they call it, a smokish board. It's like a buffet, and you go choose what you want, because Muhammad give you an option whether to show kindness to your parents or not love them at all. That's actually what is going on here. But she don't know this, because she's just listening to Zakir Naik, and she so enticed by him. Oh, he always give reference. But what if somebody else read the Quran and know that, hey, I could choose this one, just like that man hold his father down while the other Muslim kill his father.
You know, just talking about, you know, continuing to love and obey your parents as long as they're not going against Allah and, you know, trying.
Wow. continue to love your parents as long as they are not going against Allah. So if they're going against Allah, you hate them. That's the option you got, really, literally. That's the option you got. If they go against Allah, you can hate them. That's the option you got. Literally, you look at it, that's the option you got. You could hate them. Okay, so here comes the naive Muslim. This is the guy who believes that women have sperm. So let me let you know what kind of Muslim you're dealing with before I show you what he said. This is the guy who believes that women have sperm. So he says, okay, Yates, why are you afraid to dare challenge me? This guy don't even have good internet service. If you put him on your channel, it's a waste of time because his Wi-Fi keep chipping out, going, and you can't even talk to him. He talk one thing for a second, next thing you can't hear anything for him, but he always want to challenge you. And he want to come onto your channel and he challenge you when his Wi-Fi is never good. So if you want to challenge somebody, friend, you have to have better Wi-Fi service. You know, you can't challenge people and when nobody can hear what you say. You chipping in and chipping out and chipping in and chipping out. That's a waste of time. Nobody want to listen to a person going in and going out like that. So you can't challenge anybody. So let's listen to what this naive he's the one who believes that women have sperm. I actually can provide proof for that. Why are you so afraid to dare challenge me? And do you know why he believed that women have sperm? Because Muhammad say women have sperm. Indirectly say women have sperm. Muhammad indirectly say women have sperm. Someone asked Muhammad, a Jewish man. The Jews are always busting Muhammad, you know, for his lies. So, but this Jew, I think this Jew was scared of Muhammad. He said, I'm going to ask you 3 questions which only a prophet should know. And the foolish Muhammad answered the question. He actually said Gabriel told him the answer. If only a prophet would know the answer, the wise thing Muhammad would say is, how would you know if I'm telling the truth when only a prophet knows the answer according to you? So the man asked him 3 questions. One of the questions was, what is the first food in paradise? Muhammad say, a lobe of fish liver. So you see that fish will be still dying in Allah's Jannah. They still be killing animal and fish and stuff. So Muhammad said fish liver, which I was like, wow, fish liver. But anyway, then one of the most damning question the man asked Muhammad, he says, why does a child resemble its paternal uncle or its father? Notice the man asked Muhammad nothing about why the child resembles its mother. The man asked Muhammad why the child resembles its paternal uncle and its father. But Muhammad said Gabriel told him the answer. Just showed you that Gabriel doesn't listen. So the answer, Muhammad's answer is, I'm paraphrasing, whichever of the parent ejaculates first. That whichever of the in American language you would say come, whichever of the parents come first, that is the one that the child will resemble. But guess what? We know that's illogical, because what, a woman's ejaculation have nothing to do with genetic composition. And when we discuss this with this guy, Adamu Bakari bin Abu Bakar, he admitted that he believed that women have sperm. This is a naive guy. So he says, why are you so afraid to dare challenge me if you really have the guts? How many times have I challenged this guy and take him? I think I took him onto my channel twice, and his internet service is no good. You can't talk to a person if they can't talk back to you. It's a waste of time. He said, but he says, I dare to challenge him. And if you guys look at my, I erased one of the video, but one is still there. One is still there. I leave it there because I know how stupid he is. He constantly acting as if you are running from him. If Allah can love sinners, then U.S. government must love their domestic and foreign terrorists. Look how stupid this idiot is. Do you see how stupid this idiot is? Let me give him the reward, man. Anytime you act stupid here, I have something special for you. I have something special for you. When you come here, you act stupid, I have something special for you. This one, I'm giving him a different version because this guy is a beautiful guy. Do you see what he did? Can you imagine you liken domestic terrorists and terrorists to Allah liking sinners? How can Allah save sinner if you don't like them? Why are you trying to save a sinner if you don't like sinners? You know, you like the person, but you don't like their sin. So you try to get them out of their sin into the real world. And that's why you know that the attitude of a Muslim towards a person who is not not a Muslim is not real. Because what? If they are supposed to imitate their God, they don't really love you. They're just pretending to you. They're just pretending to you. They are literally just pretending to you that they love you, because if they are following this God, then they are pretending. He said, if you look at what he says, so let me give him his reward first, and then because what he says make no sense. So let's read what he say again. If Allah can love sinners, then U.S. government must love domestic and foreign terrorists. Where is it written that U.S. government is trying to save foreign domestic terrorists and foreign terrorists? And why do you liken a sinner to a foreign terrorist? A domestic terrorist. Why do you liken a sinner to a domestic terrorist? Can a domestic terrorist and a foreign terrorist can destroy the United States? Can a sinner destroy your God? You want the U.S. to love somebody who can destroy, that can destroy. And the U.S., why are you comparing your God to the U.S.? The U.S. is a secular, the government of the U.S. is secular. It's a secular organization run by their own law. Why are you comparing your God to that? There is nowhere in your Quran that says God loved the sinner. But your God wants sinner to follow him, but he doesn't love them. You don't love them, but you want them to follow him. Doesn't make no sense. But listen, this is what I have for this guy right here. This is what I have, a present for this guy. So let's give him his present. This is the first time we are giving this present. The first time we are giving this present to anyone. This is a new present that we come up with. We're gonna try it out on him. Wow. You got even a donkey laughing at you, man. Yeah, so even the donkey laughing at them. I think I think the other video would have brought him out. I think the other video would have maybe done more justice to this to this Abdul. And so I think I should I think I should give him this one for his stupidity. Yeah, so when you're so stupid, you deserve that. You deserve that one. So let's look back at what this guy says. If Allah loves sinners, then U.S. government must love their domestic and foreign terrorists. Satan, demons, evil people are sinners. Did your acclaimed God love them? The Bible said, for God so loved the world, talking about human being, that he gave his son. Allah don't love you unless you follow him. So Allah love is conditional. Allah don't have real love. Allah love is conditional. But then Allah is telling you, and this is why you know that the Quran is a fraud. Because according to Zakir Naik, the part of the Quran that Zakir Naik read, it is telling you to be kind to your parents. One verse, he's saying, be kind to your parents unconditionally. Because he says, be kind to your parents. He said, your Lord has enjoined you to worship none but him and to show kindness to your parents. But how can you trust this God who doesn't have who only have conditional love? You can't trust a God with conditional love. So you will see that this kind of God will speak with two mouths, because down here you see where it's saying that you will not find any people who believe in God and the last day loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they were their fathers and their sons. So you don't love your children if they resist God, or their brothers, or their kindred. But look what the Quran continues to say, for such he has written fate in their heart. So it's Allah who wrote this in their heart, not to love their fathers, literally their parents, if their parents resist Allah. And what does it mean to resist Allah? A resist could mean just go against the teaching of Allah and his apostle. So you see, and look what he says, Satan, demon, evil people are sinners. Did your acclaimed God love them? There is nowhere that written that God have to love demons and Satan, but God choose to love sinners. He said, for God so loved the world, he gave his son to all of the world, that whosoever you choose to believe, if you don't believe, then you face a judgment. So you will see as we continue to show this woman this woman and her reaction, that her reaction is based upon only what Zakir Naik says, not based on anything she know about the Quran.
To pull you away from the teachings of Islam. So he said, definitely try not to leave the house. If anything, just love her more. Continue to love her more.
And is that based on the teaching of Islam, to continue to love her more? He says nothing about love. The Quran says nothing about loving your parents who resist Islam. Nothing. He says show kindness to them. But at the same time, he said you will not find any of those who believe in Allah loving those who resist Allah and his apostle, even if those people were your parents, were your father, your sons, your kinsmen. So you see, nothing about no love. It's a show kindness. So what degree is kindness? If kindness doesn't have love, what is kindness? Kindness without love. What I want to know, what I want to know, if you can show kindness without love. So somebody asked the question, is kindness without love possible? In order to answer your question, I have just looked up the interpretation of what love actually is. Interestingly, there are so many definitions, and it may change the way our actual things of love. One actually thinks of love. Oh, I think that's what she want to say. Strong feeling of affection towards someone. So love means a strong feeling of affection towards someone. This is qualified by endearment, intimacy, attachment, and other emotion. The second definition, a great interest or pleasure in something, and again, this is qualified by liking, inclination, disposition, keenness, fondness. So, okay. So can you be kind to someone you really don't love? So this is how you got to look at Islam. The lady have no idea what she's looking at because she's following Zakir Naik, blindly following what Zakir Naik says. But the Quran gave people two options. One option, you can love, you not love, you can show kindness, quote unquote. You can show kindness to your parents. But then the other one, it's saying that you will not find anybody who follow Allah, who believe in Allah, loving those who resist Allah, even if they were your parents, your father, and your kinsmen, and your sons, your daughters, whoever. You will find no Muslim loving those who resist. So what is that telling you? Can you show true kindness without love? No, you can't. What I am getting at here is that there are, when you delve into it, so many different aspects of love, and would say, whereas the first definition does not marry up with kindness, which is, after all, separate entity. Kindness can definitely go hand in hand with second interpretation. So you see, you cannot, kindness and love go hand in hand. So you cannot show kindness without love. It does. If you look at love, you know, if you look at what the word love is, you know, so you are just emotional, without emotion towards the person, just following like, oh, let me give you some food, but you have no love for the person. Let me do this. But at the same time, can a person live and behave like that? No, because at the end of the day, that's what caused neglect and abuse. If you have, if say, you know, I am a nurse and I go to work, and as bad as a resident or a patient may be towards me, I'm going to show the person love, genuine love, like, hey, because what love does, love puts you in the place of that person. Love take you and make you see yourself sitting in the seat of that person. That's what love does. And when love put you into the place of that person, love make you treat that person the way you would treat yourself. Water must be given. Mouth must be clean before food eat. Mouth must be clean in the morning. Body must be washed. Clothes must be clean. Bed must be comfortable. Person must be asked, are you cold? Are you too hot? You know, enough blanket, enough covering, enough, you know, medication. Explain medication to those who can understand medication. You know, and, you know, especially the kind of, because the people who can do for themselves, you're going to show them love, but they can do so much for themselves that you're going to do just as much as needed for them to do for themselves. But the other person who cannot do for themselves, those where you delve in with more, should I say, more of yourself, because you're going to sit there and feed that person just the same way you would feed yourself. And you know, you're going to watch and look out for signs, because the person cannot communicate that the person is full, you know, or the person need more, or the person need water, the person need another drink, you know, because sometimes you might be giving water, the person not drinking it, and you say, what if I try some juice, or if I try some milk, or if I try some supplement, if that person will take that supplement, you know, and you try that. You do it to the person the way you want to be done to you. That is love. That is actually what love is, you know. So you cannot show kindness without having any form of love in your kindness. So at the end of the day, the Quran is telling you that you will find no one who believe in Allah loving those who resist Allah and his messenger, even if these people are your parents. But then with another mouth, the Quran is telling you to show kindness to your parents. What kind of kindness can be shown without love? What kind of kindness can be shown without love? No kindness at all. That's a kindness that will never have any truth in it, because that kind of kindness is shallow and will break. But a kindness that comes straight from out of love, that's a kindness that will never break, never break. So you see that Muhammad and his Quran, and this lady don't understand one thing that she is commenting on. You know, she is tricked by Muhammad, by Zakir Naik's word, and she don't know the Quran. If she knows the Quran, then she would know that, hey, the Quran always say one thing here and another thing down there. The Quran is like, what should I say? A magnet. One place is pushing off, and the other place is pulling you in. Literally, the Quran is like a magnet. You put it this way, it's pushing you, and you put it the other way, it pull you right in. You got to go both ways. Look at both sides. You know, you can't just narrow-mindedly approach this Quran, because it is not from a good source.
And I like that, and I think we talked about this in another video before. He mentioned, you know, the things that you used to do prior to accepting Islam, like those things that used to disobey her, you know, try to, you know, show her a change. So show her that, you know, Islam is a good thing for you.
Try to show her a change. So you try to show her a change. Wow. You know, that sounds like a facade. You know, putting on a facade, you know, trying to show somebody a change. No, a person should see the change in you. You shouldn't try to show anybody a change. The change should be something. The Bible says, by the fruit you shall know them. And what is the fruit of the Spirit? If you look at the fruit of the Spirit, one of the fruit of the Spirit is love. That's the biggest fruit of the Spirit that shows up right there. Love, kindness, patience, all these stuff come up. So it's not like, oh, you're showing, you're trying to show. It's something that people will see. It's not something you try to show. It's something that people will see. When people see you. Like I'm so rough on the edges, but sometimes I'll be at work and somebody say something and I have to glorify God. I have to be like, thank you, God, because it's not me, it's God in me that, the person see. Somebody would be like, you're a nurse today? And I said, yes, miss. And she was like, thank God. And I'm like, why is she thanking God? And I realized that there is something she sees, a safe feeling that she feels whenever I am around, because she's, I don't just go and pass medication. I make sure that everybody is cool and take care of, and people are fed and people, get their snacks at night, and, things and all this stuff. People are comfortable in bed and people are this. So, and I say, it's not me who's doing this, it's God Almighty doing it through me. So the fruit of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the fruit of the Holy Spirit is showing, so it's not me, it's the fruit of the Holy Spirit. I'm just a tree, and the Holy Spirit fruit is bearing through the tree, but it's not something that you try to do. You just do it. It become a part of you when you're walking with Christ. Christ living through you, then it become a part of you to do it. It's not something that you try to do. You just do it. It just happened because that's how you live. That's a choice. That's a choice that you made to follow the messenger, the Messiah, and then the Messiah make the choice to live through you, and then you see the fruits of the Messiah coming through you when people see. So it's not something that you try to do, because what? As I say, a person can choose any path of the two paths that Muhammad gave. Muhammad gave one, say, show kindness, and then another one, you will not find anyone who believe in Allah, loving their parents, who resist Allah and the messenger. And that is Surah 58, verse 28. So I would advise this woman to read these surah, study the Quran, and not only dwell on and reacting to Zakir Naik, unless you're just clouting, trying to get subscriber. If that's the path you want to take. Look at people who are reacting to Zakir Naik, who know Islam and are reacting to Zakir Naik, and then you will see that there is more to what Zakir Naik will teach, because he will never tell you that there is a Quranic verse that say you should not love your parents.
Your change, change in accepting Islam was a good thing. So do those things, obey the things that she used to tell you prior to you accepting Islam. So he brought up examples like if she told you to wear certain shirts or told you to do these specific things, try to do them and show her, that this was a good change for you, and maybe that will convince her mind.
Try to show her. So you try to show her that it's a good change for you. You don't try nothing, love is not something that you try. Love is just a natural thing, when you follow the Messiah, love is a natural thing that comes naturally from you. It's a fruit that you bear. So it's not something that you try to do this, try to do this, try this and try this. You're trying something. When you're trying something, it's not you. You're just trying. It's not innate in you. It's not something that is you. You're trying to do something. You're trying to be, trying to be kind. You're trying to be. So Islam don't bring out that true love, because notice what the verse of the Quran says. In the verse of the Quran says, you will not find any people who believe in God and the last day, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they are their fathers or sons or their brothers or their kindred. I'm surprised he didn't mention mother here. But kindred, what does the word kindred mean? Look at the word kindred, include everybody. If you look at the word kindred, you will see what kindred means. One's family and relations. Kindred. It could be your mama, it could be your papa. So a kindred, when the word kindred is mentioned, it's everybody. You include every soul in your family and relation. So you don't love them, you just claim you're showing kindness to them. So Miss Liz Edwards, I think you're caught in Islam in trying to appease to these Abduls, but you don't know Islam at all. It is funny how you're reacting to something you don't know. It's like, oh, I'm reacting to quantum physics. And I don't know nothing about quantum physics, but I'm reacting to it. You got to react to things that you research. Research first before you react. There's two sides to Islam. One side look inviting, but the other side is very uninviting. It's like the Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you know the Jehovah's Witness? They tell you to love your parents, but at the same time, the Jehovah's Witness tell you to shun your parents if your parents become apostate from the Jehovah's Witness organization. He said to shun your parents. That means stop talking to them, stop giving them grandparents' rights, all these stuff. Shun them, don't talk to them. That's Jehovah's Witnesses. And the Islam is similar. It's telling you to be kind to your parents, but with another mouth, it's telling you you should not love your parents if they resist Allah and his messenger.
Or, convince her heart and accept that you have accepted Islam and your dedication. And, yes, obey your parents and continue to love them.
That's what Zakir said. Obey your parents and continue to love them, but that's not what the Quran says. Do you see? The Quran mentioned nothing about loving your parents who resist Islam. Nothing about loving your parents. Nothing at all. The Quran did not tell you to love your parents. That's Zakir Naik's opinion. Zakir Naik said to show them affection, but you see where the Quran says, affection means love. That's a synonym. Affection is a synonym for love. But the Quran said you will not find any people who believe in God and the last day loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they are their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their kindred. So Zakir Naik is lying. As I say, you cannot listen to Zakir Naik if you want to learn about Islam, because Zakir Naik is trying to appease to the West. His videos are more targeted. He don't care about the people he's talking to. He already got them covered. He's like the devil. His videos are publicized for the West to see. For the West to see how he answered stuff. For a Western audience. That's what his videos are for. If you notice, YouTube, his videos are all over YouTube and everywhere, because that is what Zakir Naik is trying to affect the mindset, like your mindset, living in the West. So let's continue for a little bit more and see what she's saying. Because the point I try to make here is to show that the Quran have two sides. Not one.
And again, remind them that, I love you.
Again, remind them that I love you. But the Quran does not tell you to love a parent that resists, is against Islam. The Quran tells you actually not to love them. Let me read the verse again. You will not find any people, and this is Surah 58, verse 22. You will not find any people who believe in God, who believe in Allah, and the last days, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they are their fathers, their sons, and their brothers, or their kindred. And I show you what kindred mean. Kindred mean one's family or relation. One family or relation. So you will never love, you will never find. And then the Quran even go further to say why these people will not love their family members if their family member is against Allah and his apostle. For such he had written faith in their heart and strengthened them with a spirit from himself. So Allah strengthened these people with a spirit from himself. He wrote that faith in their heart and strengthened them with a spirit from himself to not love those who resist, even your parents who resist Islam. So one verse of the Quran is saying, show kindness to your parents. Surah 17, verse 23. Another verse, Surah 6, verse 151. And also Surah 4, verse 36 is saying that you shall show kindness to your parents. But the other mouth of Muhammad is telling you, you should not love your parents who resist Islam. And that is Surah 58, verse 22. So you see the many mouths of Islam. So I'm going to say peace out, and I'm going to show you something from Zakir Naik before I go. Let me show you, when you're dealing with Zakir Naik, who you're really dealing with. Let me show you this before I go. What Zakir Naik is all about. Brothers and sisters. That's how Zakir Naik sound. Brothers and sisters, I saw that I see. So let's show you Zakir Naik. Something that Zakir Naik said. And he will show you the kind of mind. Zakir Naik claimed that he is a medical doctor. And listen to the nonsense that comes from Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik is a nonsense maker.
That Muslims should not mock at the Hindus just because they drink the urine of the camel. According to Ibn Sina, camels, when they drink the cow's urine, then how can we agree with the hadith of the Prophet that we have to drink the urine of the camel? Point number one, let me tell you, that Muslims should not mock at the Hindus just because they drink the urine of the camel.
So Zakir Naik is saying Muslims should not mock the Hindus because they drink the urine of the cow. Because Muslims drink the urine of the camel. And listen to Zakir Naik.
Ibn Sina, he says that the urine of the camel and the urine of the cow, it is not najis. It is.
So the urine of a camel and the urine of a cow is not najis. It's meaning what? It is not dirty.
Tahir, it is pure.
It is pure. So the urine of a cow and the urine of a camel is pure. Does that sound like it coming from a medical doctor to you? I'm just a nurse, man. I'm just a nurse. And I know that doesn't even make no sense. And Zakir Naik says the urine of a camel got uric acid in it. What urine doesn't have uric acid? You want to say the properties in it? He said it got protein. A man's urine can have protein in it if his kidneys if he have kidney damage, if his kidneys are not functioning properly. Does that mean that because your urine have protein in it, it's good to drink? Doesn't even make no sense. So man urine have uric acid in it. It also have protein in it if you have kidney problem. Now, another thing, man's urine have creatinine in it, elevated creatinine level if you have kidney problem too. But you will hear Zakir Naik giving the properties that are in camel urine, and you will realize that it's the same properties that are in a man's urine if their kidney is not functioning properly. And many animals have the same disease that man have, where the kidneys are not functioning properly, and you have protein escaping during filtration. So, and you have uric acid in your urine. He said creatinine in your urine. What else did he say in your urine? But he said these things are good properties, which that is a lie. This is stupidity. And he said camel urine is good for cancer. But he says camel urine is pure. This is one of the most stupid thing a person could say, because just like a human can have cyst in their bladder, cancer of the bladder, cancer of different areas in their body, a camel can have those same thing too. Just like you could have boils in your system, boils there, a camel can have these things too. So a camel can have urine that have microbial in it, dangerous microbial, because a camel can pee, and because of the infection that it have in its bladder, where if its bladder have cyst or its bladder have tumor, and the tumor is infected, then what you could have there is this camel is peeing out blood. Remember, Islam said not to drink blood. A camel could also have blood in its urine. He's not going to tell you that a camel could have blood in its urine, could have mucus and pus in its urine. Yes, mucus and pus in its urine. All animal could have these things in their secretion. There's a reason it's called secretion, why the body get rid of it, because it's toxic things. The body is getting rid of toxic things that is bad for the body. Uric acid, ammonia. The body get rid of all this stuff. Too much, anything too much, the body get rid of it. Anything that is poisonous after a time build up and can be poisonous to the body get rid of it. The body get rid of these things to the urine mostly, because fecal matter is mostly undigested roughage, food, things that the body doesn't digest from what you eat. But when you look at urine is actually has breakdown. When the body break down things and the waste product from what is breakdown, that's urine. Urine contain that. So urine contain a waste product. It's like your body is a factory, and how does the factory get rid of its waste? Two ways. The factory blew off smoke to get rid of things that is built up during manufacturing, and it also get rid of things that it build up through pipelines that run into containers that store it, and later they dispose of it somewhere. They find ways of disposing of these things. That's how your body is. Your body use your kidney, your spleen, your liver, your kidney. They all combine together to get a waste product through your kidney. So they process these waste product, and it comes to your kidney, out to your bladder, store into your bladder. Then when your bladder is to a point where it's stimulated to urinate, then it comes to your urethra and out to your your vagina, or your penis. So that's how you get rid of waste. So urine is waste. So for a person to say urine is pure is a lie. It's a lie. Urine is not pure. Urine is not pure. Urine can have bacteria in it. Urine can have bacteria in it because animals do get infection. And animals do get diseases, and in their urine, there can be diseases in their urine. And that's why no one should drink anything from an animal without it being pasteurized or cooked. Anything from an animal, no one should eat or drink anything from an animal without it being pasteurized or cooked. And urine is one of those things that you should not drink from no animal at all. Why do you think that they pasteurize milk? Why do you think they pasteurize milk? To get rid of bacteria in the milk. And you want to tell me that animal urine is pure? No, animal urine is not pure. This guy here is a naive donkey.
According to the fuqahas, according to Islamic scholars,
and do you notice all the citation, if you watch this video, all the citation that he cited are all Islamic scholars, all Islamic doctors, Islamic scientists, because what? The mind is to make Muhammad look like he is sensible. He says you can drink camel urine, so they are set out to make Muhammad look like he is sensible. But at the end of the day, you will see that nothing this guy say make any sense. And listen to him.
They say that any animal which is permitted for a Muslim to eat, or any bird which is permitted for a Muslim to eat, that animal or that bird's urine and feces is tahir. It is pure. It is.
So the feces of an animal is pure. The feces of an animal is pure. Do you see how stupid this man is? That the feces of an animal is pure. The feces of any animal you can eat is pure. The feces of a pigeon, you're going to hear him even mention the word pigeon. That the feces of a pigeon is pure. You know, listen to him.
Not najis. For example, if a pigeon lays a dropping and it falls onto your shoulder, on your clothes, then that part doesn't become najis. It is tahir. You can take it off, you can brush it off. If it dries, you can wash it, no problem. But it is not najis.
It's not najis. The mean it's pure. I don't know which school Zakir Naik go to, but I'm sure that he didn't go to American school or a school in Britain. He claims he's a medical doctor. Who knows if he's a medical doctor? Because I don't see why I, as a nurse, should know more than a so-called medical doctor. And I would not ask Zakir Naik anything about medicine, because Zakir Naik put Islam in front of his logic, you know, and Islam in front of truth. And we will show you why. There, a bird, he mentioned the word pigeon. And, you know, This is from Medical News Today. You know, if you look at more other news, but this is Medical News Today. What it says, bird and their dropping can carry over 60 diseases. Let me make you guys see this. Let me make you guys see this, because this is something that, you know, you guys should see. Just to show you that you can't trust nobody called Zakir Naik. When he speak never the truth, because his father is the devil. You know, so look at this. So let's show you this, because this is important that, you know, we educate our own self. See, I am a nurse and I know these things already. And that's what I want to show you guys, that Zakir Naik is not a truthful person. Remember what Zakir Naik just told us. Zakir Naik says, the feces of any animal that Muslim eat is clean. Literally, is pure. That's what he says. But we will show you from this that he actually mentioned the word pigeon, that Muslim can eat pigeon. So, and the feces of the pigeon is pure. But we know that's not true. That's a lie. A lie. Zakir Naik science is not real science. Listen, birds and their dropping carry over 60 diseases. So you hear? Remember the bird flu? You can't just be crazy listening to Zakir Naik, you know, when he talks, because Zakir Naik never speak the whole truth and nothing but the truth. When it comes to bird, there may be more than just avian flu to be worried about. And this is from Medical News Today. This is a reputable magazine. It has been suggested that there are over 60 other diseases that birds and their dropping can carry. And dropping means poop. So he's saying that bird poop, the animal that Muslims eat, their poop is pure. Do you see this man is a naive donkey? The problem is especially worrisome in residential area, as many of them are airborne and can be transferred to human just by being around dropping. So you can be around the dropping. We are one of the ones that I learned about in nursing school is this one, histoplasmosis. This is one of the one that we learn about. But let me tell you about histoplasmosis. Histoplasmosis is formed when there's an accumulation of bird dropping. Like if the bird dropping is accumulated and in one spot, and then these microbes or bacteria, sometimes they float in the air and can get into your lungs. And one of the fungal infection is one of the biggest thing that these bird dropping can result in. But we see this candidiasis, which is also yeast infection, a fungal infection. And then you have cryptococcosis is caused by yeast found in the intestine of the pigeon. Do you see this? Zakir Naik says bird dropping is pure, but this is saying cryptococcosis is caused by yeast found in the intestinal tract of pigeon and starlings. The illness often becomes as a pulmonary disease and may later affect the central nervous system. Since attic, capulas, ledges, schools, office, warehouse, mills, barns, park, building, signs, etc., are typical roosting and nesting site. The fungus is apt to be found in these areas. So this fungus is found in the intestine of pigeon. But listen to the naive Abdul, what he says. The animal that Muslim eat, Zakir Naik is saying, the animals that Muslim eat, they poop, the feces of the animal that Muslim eat is pure. So my brother is saying right here, Zakir Naik knows only 7th century science. You're right, man. You're so right. Zakir Naik is literally an idiot. He is, to be real with you, literally an idiot. So as we go along, we will show you other dangerous bacteria that you could get from animal feces. And we are talking about birds that Muslim eat. So this one is called St. Louis Encephalitis. So St. Louis, it must be the St. Louis in America, which is not far from where I am right now. So St. Louis in Missouri. An inflammation of the nervous system usually causes drowsiness, headache, and fever. It may even result in paralysis, coma, or death. St. Louis encephalitis, trying to read too fast, occur in all age group, but is especially fatal to persons over age 60. The disease spread by mosquitoes which have fed and infected house sparrows. So we're going to leave that one out because he never mentioned, he's talking about feces. So we're going to leave that one out. Okay. So now let's look at here's one. This is a salmonella or salmonellosis. So the disease is called salmonellosis, but the bacteria is the salmonella bacteria. So often occur as food poisoning and can be traced to pigeon. Notice what Zakir Naik says. Pigeon dropping is pure. That's literally what he says. Pigeon, the dropping of a pigeon is pure. Zakir Naik is not really intelligent person. So this said this can be traced to pigeons, starling, and sparrows. The disease bacteria are found in bird droppings, bird feces. Dust from dropping can be sucked through ventilator and air conditioner, contaminating food and cooking surfaces. So you see, and there is another one, E. coli, the famous E. coli. Cattle carry E. coli. So the cattle, which is cows, have E. coli. Not only cows, because when they say cattle include other than cows. Because a bison, a buffalo, those are cattle. Bovine. When birds peck on cows' manure, the E. coli goes right through the bird, and the bird dropping can land on your food. So you see, bird dropping, he said, brush it off like this. No, you don't just brush it off like that. You don't just brush off bird dropping like that. You clean it off as much as you can. You sanitize yourself, wash your hands properly, 20 to 30 seconds with soap and water. And then when you get home, you make sure that you get out of that bird dropping clothes, because you don't know that bird dropping could have and pigeons are peck and manure. You see pigeons, doves in the field pecking around and manure. You know, so Zakir Naik is not a very intelligent guy. You know, he should be, but he choose not to be. He choose Islam over intelligence. So you hear what Zakir Naik is saying, it make no sense. So he's literally telling people it's okay to drink camel urine and eat stupidity, but it's not logical. Nothing that Zakir Naik is saying is logical. And all the scientists that he quote are Muslims. Why?
Similarly, the urine and feces of all the animals which we are permitted to eat, whether it be goat, whether it be sheep, whether it be camel, whether it be cow, it is not najis. So based on this,
do you notice what he says? The feces of a cow, but you see that the feces of a cow have salmonella in it. Zakir Naik is not very intelligent person, and you cannot trust this guy. When this guy, and he says he's a medical doctor, when this guy speaks, you cannot trust Zakir Naik. I would not allow Zakir Naik to take care of my dog. As a medical doctor, I would not allow Zakir Naik to take care of my dog. He's not logical. You know, when you hear doctors speaking like this, you don't listen to them. You don't listen to them. There is a woman who claims she's a scientist who going around saying that because of her, a lot of people refuse to take the COVID vaccine because she says they're trying to sterilize people who they try to use the COVID vaccine and out of I think she said virus. They try to use virus to sterilize people and all this stuff, as if the COVID vaccine was invented by America. Crazy. The COVID not vaccine, as if the COVID virus was invented by America, because she's saying that they're making viruses in laboratory to sterilize the population. Conspiracy theory. You know, when you have doctors and scientists who are saying things that you cannot prove, that the rest of the medical world is not agreeing with, especially when it comes to medicine. America leads the way when it comes to medicine. America is leading the way. You know, in Ohio, you have the Cleveland Clinic up there in Ohio is one of the top clinics in the United States. You ask any doctor from these clinics if what Zakir Naik is saying, if it is true, and they would tell you he's a liar, he's a fraud. You know, they would laugh at him. Even his own fellow Muslim, because a lot of doctors here are Muslims. And even his own fellow Muslim will tell him, Zakir Naik, you don't know what you're talking about. That's a lie. Because his own fellow doctors will warn you, if you have one of these diseases, they will tell you where you get this disease from. They will tell you what caused E. coli. They will tell you what caused salmonella. They will tell you what caused cryptococcosis. They will tell you all these things. But Zakir Naik is just a crazy person. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. There is so many things, you know. You could get parasites from birds, you know. You know, so I don't know what is wrong with this guy. But anyway, I want to say peace out and God bless you all, man. So just to recap on what this video was about. So I'm reacting to this lady called Liz Edward, reacting to Zakir Naik, giving advice to a Muslim regarding how to treat his parents. And I would be a liar if I say the Quran doesn't say that you should show kindness to your parents. I would be a liar. 3 verses of the Quran that I know says that. 3 verses of the Quran says that. But that's not the only thing that the Quran says. And that's why I say you cannot trust the Quran. Because one mouth of the Quran is saying something and the Quran have another mouth. The author of the Quran have 2 mouths. With one mouth, the author of the Quran is saying A, and with another mouth, the author of the Quran is saying B. So you have an option to choose A or B. And as I've shown you, it's historically proven by Tabari and also by I think it's Ibn Sa'd, that people were following in these footsteps of Muhammad. There's a man who hold down his father while another Muslim killed his father. He hold his father down while another Muslim killed his father. And the history of Tabari, the victory of Islam, have another story where a man wanted to kill his father. Instead of anybody else kill his father, he chose to kill his father. The reason he was going to choose to kill his father, because he believed the judgment of Muhammad was going to be kill your father. He wanted to be the one to kill his father because he said if somebody killed his father, he would have to avenge the death of his father, and he don't want to avenge. He don't want to kill a fellow Muslim. So he was going to choose to kill his father. But for some reason, Muhammad decided not to kill the man. But as I say, because the Quran gives you 2 choices, let me read the other choice of the Quran. You will not find any people who believe in God and the last days, loving those who resist God and his apostle, even though they are their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their kindred. And as I show you, the word kindred means family or relations. So it could be your mother, anybody. If the person resists Allah and his apostle, according to the Quran, you will find no one loving them. Nobody who believes, no Muslim should love someone who resist Allah and his apostle. And listen what the Quran says. For such Allah has written faith in their heart. So Allah is the one who write this in their heart, not to have love for their family member who resist Muhammad and his God, and strengthen them with spirit from himself. So Allah strengthened them with a spirit, a spirit of hatred for their the people who resist Allah and his messenger. So there is 2 sides to Islam, and you can't be naive and believe, oh, there is only one side to Islam, because there is 2 mouths. Islam is from a source where the person speak with 2 mouths. So I'm gonna say peace out and God bless you, man. You know, we've been going on for a while, so God bless you, and our praises to the triune God, the God of wisdom, the God above all gods. And this is from a Muslim. Remember, this is from a Muslim. This right here is from a Muslim. So peace out.